Welcome back to ACR. My name's Alan. I've got something really special to show you guys today. Let's go take a look. So what I have for you guys today is the CLS 450 4-door coupe. So the CLS 450 here, and the CLS range really for 2018/2019, was the first of its kind to get this redesign. So if you have a look at the headlights here, the front grille, the way it leans forward, everything since then, since this incarnation, has followed it. The A-Class, the CLA, the GT63S. So a lot of elements have been packed into this car to launch Mercedes forward in the new era. The CLS 450 here is actually an E-Class coupe. So what they've done to get this 4-door coupe out is actually get the E-Class all-terrain vehicle, which has a longer wheelbase, and put the coupe shape on there. And now with the redesign by Gordon Wagner, the Chief Design Officer for Mercedes-Benz, you can really see his Central Purity design elements coming out, where there's not a single harsh line on this car. It's just smooth, like a polished rock. Underneath the hood here is Mercedes' brand new Inline 6. Been in development for over 5 years now. It's running at 270 kilowatts at 500 newton meters of torque, and it's actually paired with the first of its kind, a 48 volt starter alternator, taking away the belt-driven aspect of the vehicle and giving it instantaneous pickups, an extra 17 kilowatts and 250 newton meters of torque at the throttle when needed. At the back end of this car is no different with that design principle. Everything you see here has been implemented in the new models, and it just goes to show how powerful this design was on the CLS that it's now taken the rest of the brand. Even just the fact there's no lines down here, no shoulder lines at all, it's just smooth. Just made to cut through the air like a katana. It's just amazing. Now you're all thinking with the rear end of this vehicle, it wouldn't be that much boot space. You'd be wrong. There is an absolute generous amount of boot space in here. And there's even a little holder down here for your shopping. Now, you all see the back end here and you think, fake. Funnily enough, this is the only Mercedes-Benz passenger car that has a performance exhaust fitted to it, because this was actually the old 43 model from AMG, and you can actually get your hand in there with the real exhaust. Don't see that very often with Mercedes-Benz these days. Another thing before we hop in that I like, frameless doors. All right, let's hop in. Jumping inside the CLS, what you're going to notice is that it's quite roomy for a 4-door coupe. Obviously because it's based off the E-Class. However, everything you see in this vehicle is stock standard. There's no real seat comfort option. There's no Vision package or AMG package or whatever else, because everything on this car is standard. The only thing this one that we have today has as an optional extra is the energizing control package, which sprays some nice lovely scented perfume through the car, plays different music and changes the ambient lighting, which neither here nor there. I'd probably advise getting the comfort package if you're going to look at getting this car with an optional extra, because that gives you the multi-contour seats and everything else. But starting from my right, you've got your memory seating, you've got your Burmeister sound system. It's phenomenal, like it wouldn't be. Coming across to your two 12.5-inch screens here in the center. It's just, this is what kicked it off, really, the E-Class. And then obviously the A-Class and CLA and all that adopted it. You've got your progressive mode, which I've got on at the moment for the display, but obviously you can customize that how you feel between classic and sport as well. And then coming down into your wood grain trim, your nice leather upholstery. It's really well put together. The CLS is equipped with wireless charging. It was one of the first to come with it, along with the E-Class and everything else. However, it wasn't designed for phablets in mind. Even with a phone case on, my phone doesn't sit flush in there. And that is a little bit of an issue. It still charges it, it's just not flush. So if you've got a nice case like mine, you don't want to get it scratched, just plug it in. It'll be easier and you can put it in the center console. Probably my one dislike in the entire car so far, besides the wireless charging, is the sunroof. It's manual to open it. It's also only a little letterbox one as well. And that's due to the design. Because the curvature of the roof is so harsh, we couldn't do a full-size moonroof. So if you're one that loves to look at the stars, probably not the sunroof you'd want. Sitting in the back here, I'm 6'2", there's not that much room for me. I set the seat up for my position in the driver's seat, and I can't even get my fingers behind my knees properly. So it's not that much room for leggy people. I really can't shuffle my feet forward either, so I'm sort of locked into this 90-degree shape, I guess. And headroom, there is none. Now that also leads into one other issue when you're in the back seat of this car. This window line, it's really low and great for kids maybe, but for adults, all I'm seeing is the roof lining. And when I hop out, you gotta be careful not to hit your head. So what I thought I'd do with the CLS is, because it's such a long car, I thought I'd take it in the city, where it's a bit, a bit more tight, a bit more, it'll get in and out, a bit more maneuverable. I thought that'd be a good test for this vehicle. I have to admit, it's surprisingly, for a 6-cylinder, it's got a lot of oomph, a lot of get up and go, which is phenomenal for this car. At 270 kilowatts, it's the same as the V6 Turbo C43. Well, actually no, that's actually gone up now. That's 287. So it's a little bit less on the standard kilowatts than the C43, but she flies. And I think that's the whole principle behind what they wanted to do with this inline six, was develop an engine that had the fuel savings of a V6, but the power and output of a V8. And I honestly think they've done that in spades. It's a pleasure to drive, and the Airmatic suspension system in it just reads the road in front, adjusts accordingly, makes it nice and smooth. And on comfort mode, you're not going to feel a damn thing. In Sports Plus, yeah, it gets a bit more rigid, a bit more stiff, but that's what it's designed to do. And it's supposed to do that so it can hug corners and have that sort of fun and play with it. But again, it's a 4MATIC car, it's all-wheel drive. There's no issues with traction. The interior, again, I think not having the moonroof and having this really low roof line, I think makes it feel darker and more claustrophobic than what you anticipate. It does feel like you're a bit more hemmed in, it feels a little bit darker. But yeah, otherwise it's a fun car to drive. It's certainly no issues. It does have a performance exhaust, but due to the amount of noise cancelling in this car, you really don't hear it as much. But from all accounts from the crew today, it actually crackles and pops quite a lot. And you can hear it pop every now and again, but it's not like an AMG exhaust. It's a great performance exhaust, but it's not an AMG performance exhaust. I have to admit, I really do love driving this vehicle. It's very comfortable. It's very easy to maneuver, especially in the city. I had no issues at all. Even in tight areas. Just because it's got the 360 camera, the parking package on it, it just makes life so much easier. And even if you think you're in an area that you're going to gutter scrape according to the camera, it doesn't. It allows enough room each side, so you're well and truly clear of it. So you're not going to have any unintentional scrapes, essentially. It's a really well put together system. I will say though, if this was the 43 version previously, they must have toned it down. I just don't feel like, in AMGs you feel engaged all the time. You feel like you want to hold onto the wheel at two hands, you want to paddle shift, you want to really feel the corners and get with the car, get involved with the car, you know, you want to feel everything. I feel like here in this CLS, you can just sit and contemplate life. You're not focused on the drive because it's doing so much for you, but it's taking so much away at the same time. Yes, it's responsive. Yes, the handling's great, but do I feel engaged? No. What I really like about this car is that after all this driving we've done today, it's only used 10% of its fuel. So it started with 100% of fuel, now it's sitting on 90%. Like, it's really good fuel economy versus the performance side of it. So it's a really good mix. It's got high performance, it's got great fuel economy, it's comfortable, luxurious, besides the rear seats, if you're my height. But if you have kids, hey, good guess. But yeah, it's good, loving it. Well, that was the CLS 450 4MATIC Coupe. I have to admit, it's a very well put together car. I think with the advent of technology these days, things are moving quicker than Mercedes-Benz can anticipate with just regards to phone sizing and everything else, hence the smaller than normal wireless charging pads. I think eventually they'll catch up to that. Other than that, the car itself is perfect to drive. It's lovely and it comes with everything you need or want. You're not really missing out on anything because it comes standard with everything. If you've got the 180K to purchase one of these, do it. It's a fantastic car. But if you're looking for the full set of specs, you can email at us at alanconnorreview@gmail.com. But other than that, thanks for watching, and this has been Alan again from ACR, and safe motoring.